versa. If someone saved a lot less than you, again, that's not your life, and second, that doesn't allow you to go around and spend all your money. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Plumena, and yeah, let's just get it going. So today I wanted to talk about a more serious topic. I want to talk about money. So I want to talk about how I was able to graduate college debt-free, and then also was able to save on top of that over 17 grand. So maybe this is little, maybe this is a lot, I don't know. This is in no shape me bragging. This is just me using some sort of credibility to tell you that these tips and tricks work, and that they're very simple and basic, and they've helped me a lot. So yeah, let's just get it going. If anyone showed me like a guide or like some sort of guidance before, that would have been really useful. These are just things I've learned like the hard way, and yeah, like if that can make your life easier, implement some of them. I know everyone's different, so if there's anything you can take away from this, just go right ahead. So before I start talking about the actual tips and tricks, I just want to say a couple things. There's 3 things that are super important. The mindset is that much more important than the actual tips and tricks. So the first thing I want to say, I feel like everyone's relationship with money is different, and if you have a negative idea of money, I feel like that will really affect your subconscious. It just affect you in general, because if you think money is like the source of all evil, or like if you think money is bad, then obviously you're not gonna be able to save up and your relationship will be flawed. I try to go about it that money is abundant, and it's coming from a place of abundance. There's enough for everyone. It's not like something that's so bad to have, or it's enough for everyone. As long as you work hard, you can earn and you can get anything. So that's the first thing I'd like to preface. So money is abundant, and you can do anything you set your mind to. So that's number 1. Number 2, I think this is very important too. Like find your why and find what motivates you. So why do you want to save up money? Is it because you want a new car, you want a house maybe down the road, you want to be like financially stable? What motivates you? Maybe you want to invest it in the future. So something small. Maybe you just you want to save it so that you just feel better about yourself, and like you want to save it for a rainy day, so that if times like these come again, you're not in a bad situation. So find your why. Okay, so number 3 is definitely, we hear this all the time, but definitely comparison is the thief of joy. So that's why I want to preface this by saying, again, I'm not here to brag, or I'm not here to like show off what I've done. I just want to preface this as like having some sort of credibility, so you guys understand that these are tips and tricks that have worked for me and that can work for you. So if someone has saved double the money that you have, that doesn't disqualify what you've done. And vice versa, if someone saved a lot less than you, again, that's not your life, and second, that doesn't allow you to go around and spend all your money because you saved that much more, so you're ahead of them. So that's something super important. I really try not to compare myself to other people and how much they've saved up or how they do things, because obviously there's so many different factors that go into this. Some people might be in a better position than you, have gone to a better school, have different parents. There's so many factors and variables that go into this. So I just try to set my own goals, and once I set them, if I can achieve that, I'm proud of myself. But I really do try not to compare myself to other people. So my first tip is definitely to like decide where you stand. So set your go macro to micro. So set some bigger goals. So like for the next 12 months, like how much money would you like to save up for this year in total? You'd want to save this whole year. Start big, and then we're gonna go dive deeper into like how to actually do it, but just set the standard and go from there. The second thing that is super important, it's a no-brainer, but actually a lot of people don't do this. is definitely to create a budget. So I just literally sit down every month and I have like an Excel like template, and I have how much I spend for my car, my groceries, car insurance, rent, miscellaneous, like anything, shopping, restaurants, anything that I have. I just put all my expenses down, and then all my wants too, everything. I can actually show you guys. You can use either like an Excel spreadsheet, or you can like do it with like a pen and paper, old school, as you wish. To me, like an Excel spreadsheet works really well. I just put everything in and I know exactly, and that really helps me to keep myself accountable. So number 3 is definitely to be realistic. So I'm not just gonna set my expenses to exactly to just what I need. I'm gonna leave like a small ratio to what I want. So usually that's gonna be like 20%, like things like miscellaneous, restaurant, shopping. Like I'll leave myself a goal, because let's say I put, I don't know, like $100 for going out this month. If I didn't allocate any money and I spend $50, then I'd be disappointed in myself. But if I actually just put 100 and I spend 50, it's very reasonable and I won't be disappointed. And yeah, I have very realistic expectations. So definitely do that. And actually I'll put my template below, that way you guys can download it if you want, if that's useful for you. Okay, so once you've set these expectations, this budget, at the end of each month, this is super important. I feel like we always talk about the first step, setting a budget, but then going back and keeping yourself accountable. So what I do is I just take in my Excel sheet, I'll just write every single purchase that I made that month, and then I'll just put in the category and it'll just calculate it for me, and then I'll see how realistic my budget was. And if it was more, if I went way above, then I know that I definitely didn't respect it, so I readjust my budget. Or if I did way less, then now I know that what I did was super realistic and achievable, and then I try to sustain that. I definitely look for long-term sustainable like savings, as opposed to just like try to like restrict myself, not spend a single penny a month. So another thing, this is more on mindset, but on the rationale of spending, I would say is definitely figure out what triggers your spending. Like I'm not a big impulsive spender, but I know a lot of people are. So if there's anything that like on TikTok, Facebook, Google, I don't know, wherever you see however you shop, if there's anything that triggers you, like some people shop out of boredom or like just FOMO. They fear that they're gonna miss out if they don't get the next big thing. So it'd take yourself away from there. So like let's say, you know, like on TikTok people keep showing you like what they've bought, like don't follow those accounts or just delete all of that. This just leads into the next point. Let's say you think you're about to make like an impulsive purchase. I would say like put it in your shopping cart and just let it stay there, close the tab, and then I usually give myself like 48 hours. And I will let it be, and if I still think about this and I really can rationalize and justify why I would need it, I'll buy it then. But usually I've forgotten about it by then and I've moved on, so it all works out. And then I've closed the tab and I've completely forgotten about it, so it doesn't really matter. The next tip that really helps, I do this with my phone a lot, but just add extra resistance. So if you know you're an impulsive shopper and like you just buy things really quickly, take away your bank information off all the websites, like don't remember it. So then it just brings you an extra step. You have to like put it in, and then by that time usually you won't want to do that, so you won't buy it. So that really works. At the end of the day, I'll go back and look into my budget, like if it actually fits in like miscellaneous, and like I can, like it's part of something, this is like my thing of the month that I want to buy, okay, I'll just buy it. But otherwise I'll just think about it and I will really think, why do I really want it? Is it something I want or is it something I need? And 9 times out of 10 is something I want, and I can't really rationalize it, so I won't buy it. So I'll just let it be. And then from there, what I do is I've realized that a lot of these things that I want, I already have them in my mind. So I just broke it down and made a list of all the things that I could want, that I really see myself purchasing. So then if one day I go back, I see something that I want and it's on that list, and I've actually been thinking about it before, then I don't feel that bad. So just have an ongoing list of things that like you would like to purchase in the future, and if that's part of it, that means that your past self actually like thought about your future self and you actually wanted that. So super useful. I really try to make an effort not to purchase things that I haven't run out yet. So I'm not gonna try to purchase something again in a different variation. So let's say I'll have like, I don't know, 2 to 3 lipsticks that I love, my go-tos, and then the rest, like I won't keep repurchasing another lipstick just because I want it. Just I have my basics and I'll stick to my essentials. I don't need another one. I'm obviously not gonna reach out to that one in the morning because I have my 3 favorite ones. So that's super important as well. Actually, this leads me right into my next point, which is literally like quality over quantity. I hate clutter, like that just stresses me out. It makes me anxious. I'd rather spend more and purchase something with higher quality than spend less but then buy like 5 of the same item. And then my very last tip would be to always use my card. So during university, I definitely earned a lot of my money cash. I did work at a like restaurant, bar, so serving, bartending, all of those, it's always been cash. So initially I felt like, oh, like I could just spend the cash and that's not too bad. But actually I realized that it's the opposite. I always put all my money in the bank. That way I can, every time I spend, I can track it. And that way it doesn't feel like I'm cheating the system. So I'll just put all my money in the bank, and that way I know exactly how much I spend and it keeps me accountable. I can't cheat. I can't like be like, oh, okay, if I just spend like $100 here in cash, it doesn't count. It doesn't matter, because yes, it matters. And on top of that, once I invested in like a good card, actually I can make another video on that, like what credit cards to get. But once I invested in a good, not invested, like I found a good card, like the points that I could earn were unreal. So it motivated me. The more I spend, the more points I earned. Obviously I didn't want to spend any money like unnecessarily, but it just motivated me to not use any cash. So definitely use a credit card or a card, and then at the end of the month always pay it back. Again, I always come from the mindset of you're not gonna spend money you don't have, always spend money you have. And then at the end of the month, you just pay it back. It builds your credit, you've earned your points, and it's great. So that's super useful as well. These are just tips and tricks that have helped me in the past, and I've learned by trial and error. These are definitely tips that have helped me save money, but then on top of that, I really worked my butt off during university, like to really work as much as I can and definitely save as much as I can, because you can also like focus on increasing your income and then decreasing your expenses. That's super important. So I definitely worked on that. I'm super excited for this year. I feel like I'm gonna be able to like save up even more, and I feel like it's so motivating to see like that number grow in your bank account. So yeah, so much for watching, and I hope these things help you. Like really try to take like 1 or 2 things that works for you and implement it. A lot of times like it's better to focus on like 4 or 5 things and implementing them than to be bombarded with like 80,000 advice tips and then you don't know where to start. So start simple, and yeah, so can't wait to see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.